Happy now, all is now as it gives being the present. First, say something back in here. Putting out my perception into the cloud of the collective to expand the collective consciousness. You're not tuning into the mind of acknowledge and moan. And it is Leo hours as I make this video. And this is gonna be Venus and Virgo, okay, for all the signs, okay? Venus and Virgo for all signs. What is gonna mean for you, okay? So off the bat, we got, let's say if you got Venus, and Virgo in the first house, first of all, what does Venus and Virgo mean? Okay, so this is basically nitpicking when it comes to being selective, you know, looking at the details of love, you know, relationships and things we value. Okay? So when you have Venus and Virgo, you know, this is basically just stressing about love, looking at the details of love, you know, and this is love for more of the communication, you know. So because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, okay. So yeah, Mercury deals with that communication. It's that fast moving planet, okay? So yeah, let's get to it. Let's say if you got Virgo in the first house. If Virgo is in your first house, that means you will be basically, let's say, evaluating, nitpicking things, let's say, and you would want to communicate and have self development when it comes to your personal appearances and how you come off to people. It could also be your ego, your personality, okay? So like just how you come off your appearance. So right now, because Virgo, when we had Venus and Leo, that was basically, and then it went retrograde. That was basically reevaluating what we loved, you know. So now when we got, let's say, when we have Venus moving into Virgo, we should be really nitpicky about, we should know the things we love to the details and how we want to be loved, and you know how to love, and because you're only going to be loved the way you love, you know. And that's that's only as far as you can see love, the way you love, you know. So yeah, so that's about it, and that's what's gonna happen in the first house. So you know, self-love, analyzing what it means to, you know, what does it mean to love yourself, you know, self-evaluating your appearance and things like that, okay. So if you have Virgo in the second house, okay, if you have Virgo in the second house, this will be analyzing, rethinking, stressing, oh yeah, overthinking things when it comes to your material, your fixed possessions, your money, your pentacles, you know? So, uh, if you have Virgo in that second house, yeah, you're gonna be analyzing, your material, you know? Yeah, so this is basically that's the second house. Okay, so that second house is Taurus, you know? So if you got Virgo ruling that second house, that house lord is Mercury, you know? So you want to be more communicative about, you want to utilize that Mercury and be more communicative about your monies and your pentacles and your things that you value, and things that bring you pleasure, or bring you material or maternal, you know. So you want to open up your throat chakra and communicate about those things, you know. Okay, so if you have Virgo in the third house, if you have Virgo in the third house, that would mean, okay, you will be more self, you will be more evaluating, analyzing, being more nitpicky about your surroundings, okay? Your neighbors, you know, you will start to analyze your surroundings and people you're familiar with, you know, and you will be more communicative, and let's say would want to work with your surroundings, you know. So yeah, this is working in your environment. At this time you could find yourself getting a job in your surroundings, and where in your close environment. Okay, so yeah, Virgo, let's say you got Virgo in the fourth house. If you got Virgo in the fourth house, is basically deals with, you're gonna be you are gonna be you're gonna be nitpicky, analyzing, uh looking at the details of your home, your domestic situations, you know, uh your privacy, you know. So you this is Mercury in that ruling that fourth house, you know. So it's this is basically, you know, you're gonna be communicative about your domestic. Let's say this is somebody who's gonna be, at this time they're gonna be communicative about their, their home life. This could be somebody who is working. We could see them working towards a home, or a dream home, you know. This is somebody working towards a dream home, or stressing about a dream home, or, working from home, you know, something like that. Okay, so Venus, let's say you got Venus in the fifth house. Venus in the fifth house, okay? This is basically analyzing, looking at the details, working on entertainment, fun, you know, uh, let's say character in a way, you know, your ego, you know, how you entertain things, you know, what you entertain, just what how what you give your attention to. Okay, so if you got Virgo there, you need to be analyzing what you're giving your attention to. Okay, or this could be working in the entertainment industry, working in the entertainment industry, or uh yeah, work. Let's say if you got Virgo in the sixth house. Okay, this is uh Virgo in the sixth house. If you got Virgo in the sixth house, this is basically okay. This is just the the double. This is the double Mercury. Okay, so this is this is just stressing about just analyzing and analyzing, working in let's say the health department. You know, you can find yourself working in the health department, the pharmaceutical department, you know, the the being a doctor, any kind of doctor, you know. So anything that has to do with the health, this could be like a fitness coach as well, you know, love for the, you know, love for the fitness, the health, you know. So yeah, let's say if you got Virgo in the seventh house. If you got Virgo in the seventh house, if Venus is transiting your seventh house, okay, this is gonna be that's gonna be the love for the relationships you manifest, the analyzing and the nitpicky, nit gritty, you know, nitty gritty, what's it called? Relationships you manifest. You're nitpicky about the relationships you manifest, or yeah, you know. So these people, if you gotta be communicative. You gotta utilize your swords, okay? Because you know you gotta use your communication, you know, to rectify this energy. Because you know all these energies, as I say, you gotta, because this is uh Virgo. You want to make sense. We want to make sure we making sense of, you know, whatever house this is placed in. Okay, so if it's in the seventh house, you want to make sure you're making sense of your relationships and people you're in, you just your relationships, yeah, on a one-on-one level for like people, places, and things. Okay, so if you have Virgo in the eighth house, okay, if you have Virgo in the eighth house, this is the paying attention, being investigative, being having love for the behind the scenes. Okay, so it's like being communicative and about the things behind the scenes. Okay, so being this detailed analyst about deep occult mysticism type things. Okay, and you actually have love for this. Venus if you have venus if you have Venus in the eighth house, so if Venus is transiting your eighth house, depending on whatever planets you got there as well, but it is basically just having this detailed analyst, that's about the occult behind the scenes or deep transformations. Okay, or is just stressing about what they have, they're hiding, stressing about what's hidden, or stressing about what's behind the scenes, stressing about a secret. Okay. Or working in the working in the working behind the scenes. Okay, so we got if you have Virgo in the ninth house. Okay, if Venus transiting that ninth house, this is basically the love for the analyze the analysts that so and analyzing, okay, stressing out, paying close attention to your philosophy, your education, how, for travel, okay, things like this. Okay, so you're gonna find yourself paying close attention to things when it comes to traveling, education, learning, you know, your broad philosophical ways of looking at the world, religion, and God. All right. So we got if you have Virgo in the 10th house. If you have Virgo in the 10th house, this is basically analyzing, nitpicking, stressing out about your status, okay? And this is gonna actually, yeah, this going conjunct. We also got what's it called, the Jupiter here as well. Jupiter in Taurus and Uranus there as well. So you're gonna feel the effects of those other planets, giving this an expansion, making you feeling like you need to love, this 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 area of your life in a way where it's just like you put you're analyzing your status so much, and with Jupiter and Uranus there, it could expand and give it like this new unique individual way of of having a status, this new unique status. So we got, let's say if you have Venus transiting the 11th house. If you have Venus transiting the 11th house, okay, this is gonna be nitpicking, analyzing, stressing about your public image, okay, stressing about things that have how you conduct yourself within the public, and just analyzing, let's say researching, things that have to do with things like astrology or some sort of science, because this is the 11th house, so anything that has to do with becoming, anything that has to do with knowing, okay, so you would stress out if you don't know, okay, so you want to know, all right. So at this time, you find yourself researching a lot of shit, and it has to do with the age of Aquarius. So, next we got, if you got Virgo in the 12th house. So Virgo in the 12th house, this would be analyzing, paying attention to the details, and stressing out about your dreams and illusions and creativity. Okay. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Venus in Virgo for all signs. First Take signing out. Catch you next now.